Click here if you are having a problem viewing the photos on a mobile device. San Jose. In emotional and dramatic testimony, San Francisco 49ers linebacker Reuben Foster's former girlfriend on Thursday said she fabricated allegations that he beat her, claiming it was simply an extortion ploy that got out of control. But Elisa Ennis denied that Foster or anyone else paid her to recant her initial accusations that threatened to derail Foster's budding pro football career. "I was pissed and I wanted to end him," Ennis said during her 2 hours of testimony. Santa Clara County Superior Court Judge Nona Clippen announced at the end of the 5-hour hearing, highlighted by the grueling and unusual testimony from Ennis, that she would delay her decision on whether to send the case to trial by a week. The next court date is set for May 23. "I didn't get the impression she was trying to help Foster," said Stephen Clark, a criminal defense attorney and prosecutor who watched the testimony from the courtroom gallery and found Ennis's testimony credible. "It looked like raw emotion displayed from someone feeling very guilty and upset about what she did to Mr. Foster." Foster pleaded not guilty May 8 to felony domestic violence, forcefully attempting to dissuade a witness, and possession of an assault weapon. He invoked his right to a speedy trial, so if Clippen clears the way, it would have to start no later than July 9. As Foster looked on during his preliminary hearing, Elisa Ennis testified that she threatened to mess up Foster's career after he broke up with her and that she called 911 because "I wanted him to go down." Start your day with the news you need from the Bay Area and beyond. Sign up for our new Morning Report weekday newsletter. Under questioning from Foster's attorney Joshua Bentley, Ennis also admitted that she attempted to get a previous boyfriend arrested for domestic violence in 2011 in a similar scheme. "You knew in this case when Reuben Foster broke up with you, you were going to go to your playbook and ruin his career," Bentley said. "Isn't that true?" "Yes, sir," Ennis said. Court officials in Baton Rouge, Louisiana confirmed to this news organization Thursday that Ennis was arrested on suspicion of 2 counts of aggravated assault on November 4, 2011, but the charges were dismissed 2 years later. There is no official record of any false report of domestic violence. Elisa Ennis, right, former girlfriend of San Francisco 49ers linebacker Reuben Foster, walks out of Santa Clara County Superior Court with her attorney Stephanie Rickard after testifying in Foster's preliminary hearing, Thursday, May 17, 2018, in San Jose, Calif. Foster pleaded not guilty Tuesday, May 8, 2018, to charges stemming from allegations that he attacked Ennis in their home in February. AP photo, Marcio Jose Sanchez. Ennis often struggled to recall events, particularly the night before Foster's Feb. 11 arrest, when she said got into a fight with 2 women in San Francisco and suffered injuries that she initially blamed on Foster. She repeatedly said she couldn't fully remember what she told police, statements which ultimately led to the criminal charges against Foster. Ennis' attorney, Stephanie Rickard, stated in court Thursday that she advised her client against testifying, and had urged her to plead the Fifth Amendment, her right against self-incrimination. In her initial account, Ennis told Los Gatos Monte Sereno police that Foster dragged her, threw her clothes out, and punched her in the head 8 to 10 times, rupturing her eardrum, according to a police report. The morning of the alleged beating, Ennis flagged down a passing motorist outside the Los Gatos home on Shannon Road she shared with Foster. The motorist, Eugenio Purer, testified Thursday that Ennis was calm and she wasn't panicking when she asked to use his cell phone. Ennis also testified that after Foster's arrest, she went home to Louisiana with Foster's jewelry and about $8,000 in cash. The cash was recovered, but Ennis said the jewelry is in a safe deposit box back home. When asked by prosecutor Kevin Smith if she still loves Foster, Ennis replied, "I don't love him, I need help for myself." Then she said she planned to check herself into an unspecified clinic. As he listened to the testimony, Foster sat silent alongside Bentley, periodically covering his mouth with his hand while looking down, and nervously bouncing his right knee. Asked by Smith why she is risking perjury to exonerate Foster, Ennis said, "I had to do the right thing." Of the purported lies against Foster, she said, "It was all a money scheme. I didn't want to get this far in the news. It was about money, I wanted to sue him on my own." On cross-examination, defense attorney Bentley, who has represented several 49ers players in the past, methodically questioned Ennis over her accusations and elicited the same responses from Ennis. "Yes sir, that was a lie." During the hearing, 911 calls were played, including one with Ennis frantic and another with her calm and deliberate, stating, "My boyfriend broke my phone, my boyfriend, he beat me up." Bentley asked her directly, "Did Mr. Foster ever hit you?" Ennis replied, "No sir," then broke down in tears. "I'm sorry. I really am. I apologize to everybody." Ennis also testified that she lied about Foster throwing a dog across a room during an argument, and acknowledged threatening to sell photos of Foster to TMZ showing him returning a Corvette he bought for her to drive. After nearly 2 hours of testimony, Ennis left the courtroom in tears with her attorney and did not speak to reporters. Reading this on your phone? Stay up to date with our free mobile app. Get it from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Ennis also pointed to an Instagram video she says depicts the fight she had with another woman in an apparent road rage encounter in San Francisco. It became the subject of a proxy fight between Smith and Bentley, who questioned Los Gatos Monte Sereno detective Jim Weens about his response to Ennis' claim 2 days after the arrest that she had lied. Bentley questioned the thoroughness of Weens' follow-up on that alleged fight, pointing to the video, conversations with Ennis' mother, to whom Ennis told about the purported fight, and a search for any arrests in San Francisco. Weens testified he was hampered by the absence of a precise location for the fracas. Smith's questioning of Weens included the contention there is nothing in the video to definitively prove when and where it happened. But Bentley, in a further questioning of the detective, alleged a lack of diligence by Weens in not asking the doctors who examined Ennis about when the injuries occurred, and if there was a plausible cause for them other than Foster. Smith, in his closing statements to Clipin, argued that the most reliable account Ennis gave was when she called for help. He pointed out shifting facts in her new account, including where she was the previous night, involving a hairdresser she couldn't name and an unspecified East Bay city, and a hazy account of an lack of corresponding injuries to what she described as a 15-minute drag-out brawl. There were very consistent statements she told to Officer Katrina Freeman, to her mother, her brother, medical staff, and 911, Smith said, as opposed to the inconsistent statements she gave here. Bentley suggested to Clipin that the case doesn't meet the already low burden of proof required at preliminary hearings, based on evidence that calls into question Ms. Ennis' claims at the heart of the charges against Foster. He also objected to the consistent statements cited by Smith. It was all consistent because she lied, Bentley said. She was after my guy. Clark said it is unlikely that prosecutors would pursue perjury or false report charges against Ennis because of the chilling effect that could have on domestic violence victims who fear they won't be believed by authorities. It is to the DA's credit that they did it this way, even if it was a very painful experience, he said. The last thing you want to do is send a message you're not going to believe domestic violence victims. Regarding a related felony weapon charge based on a 6-hour 516 short-barreled rifle seized from his home the morning of his arrest, Weens affirmed under Bentley's questioning that Foster legally purchased in Alabama, where Foster played college football, the rifle and another handgun recovered at his home. The rifle is still illegal to have under California law, but Bentley sought to have the judge consider a misdemeanor charge. Foster remains free on $75,000 bail. The 49ers have said it will cut him if it's proven he hit Ennis, and he still could face at least a 6-week NFL suspension based on its domestic violence policy. "We are monitoring all developments in the matter," NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy said regarding the Foster case.